Well, hello there, Facebook friends. Alex here,
And Janine.
and we're outside right now between potential
Rain
rain.
clouds?
Yeah, it's actually nice out.
Yeah.
We decided we'd start someplace a little bit new
Yeah.
from what we've normally done, and we'll hopefully get a nice turnout again tonight. We'll let all of you join us here for another one of our virtual hard hat tours. I don't know what number we're on. I've lost count. 6, 7,
6 or 7.
8,
Yeah.
something like
Since
that.
St. Patrick's.
We've got a great series running here. We've had a great turnout, so we really thank all of you that have joined us
Yes.
over all of these weeks for these virtual hard hat tours. It's been a lot of fun, kind of showing off all the progress. So same thing tonight, we're going to take you around through the expansion, kind of show you some of the stuff that's happened in the last week, talk about some of the things that are going to be coming up in this next week. We've got some exciting things coming up, including Give DeKalb County Day coming up on Thursday, May 7th. So you'll hear us talk quite a bit about that during the tour tonight.
Yes.
Anything else going on?
We've got a joke since we've been doing our jokes.
Okay.
What did one twin say to the other twin while still in the tummy?
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, give me some womb. Brandon is laughing.
You get what you pay for here, folks.
And it's free.
It's free. So, how we doing? We got anybody tuning in yet?
Yeah, we're up to 17
All of our
views.
parents are watching.
If you're from out of state, give us a little howdy there. Assuming we got some folks in Iowa watching, all over DeKalb County. So thank you again to everybody for joining us. We'll get underway here with another virtual hard hat tour. So we are standing out front here. As you look out that way is 2nd Street, the front of the theater out there. We'll maybe let Brandon walk down the runway here, the new sidewalk, and kind of look back at the addition here.
You. Work.
It's a perfect runway.
It
right?
is.
Yeah. So this is 2nd Street out here, the front of the theater. And you can see our addition. So this is the new sidewalk we've talked about the last couple of weeks. Looking back towards the addition here. Really excited. They've come and taken the final measurements for the door and the window and everything here. So we're looking forward to that to get installed. Some of the final exterior lights just showed up and will get installed as well. Some of the caulking with the brick and some of the other exterior finishes is getting underway now that weather's a little bit nicer.
Yes.
And so really fun to see those exterior things coming together. Some of the topsoil getting delivered that's going to get spread out so we can start kind of restoring everything back to its finished state.
Yeah, and what's really exciting about this, so we get shipments, especially from like Coca-Cola and a lot of our concessions and stuff, and it's going across our historic 90-year-old floor, which is original. It's original in design, and it's made up of little teeny tiny pieces of tile in the mosaic pattern. This sidewalk is going to take all of that stress off of that original flooring, which we so love, and we know that you guys love, especially the story behind it. So this is going to take all of that stress off of that original floor and be able to come right off 2nd Street, down this lovely runway, and right into our storage facility. So that'll not only save the historical integrity of the building, but make our jobs a lot easier because we'll be able to unload right into where all of our concessions back storage is stored.
Yeah. So speaking of that, let's head on
Let's
inside.
go.
Those of you that have joined us in previous weeks, we've always talked about we encourage questions, comments. So as we go along on the tour, if you have any questions, anything you want to know about, just make sure you comment below, and we'll make sure we try and answer that as we go on the tour today. Let's follow Janine in. So this will, right now, this is still the temporary construction door. This will not be permanently plywood.
Yeah, this is for all of our back concession storages. So this is something we've addressed more in the March 17th tour because we went to the full shebang about everything. But just a little refresher for any of you who haven't seen. Currently, we store all of our concessions as well as our janitorial in this back teeny tiny storage room. And if we run out of popcorn, we run out of oil, we have to walk through the crowds to get that extra equipment to bring back. This will be right in this back room, and it's attached right to the concession stand, so we won't be knocking knees with barrels of oil. So this is going to not only make the delivery process easier, but during shows, if we ever run out of backstock, it's right here.
I don't know if we've pointed out before, but it was kind of cool. We left the exterior wall, the original brick there,
And the vines.
still exposed. Yes. I think we're kind of curious to see how long those vines will stay there.
Yeah.
So kind of a cool little detail, even though we've got a new room here. Thought it would be kind of fun to leave some of the original brick exposed there. We did that both on the first floor as well as upstairs. We've got a spot that we left some of the original brick exposed. Starting to put in some of the new door frames. So this is the opening coming into the lobby space here. There'll be a new set of fire doors here, and then a set of decorative wood doors here that will kind of separate the back of house from the public area out here in the lobby. And we've shown you before, and it's probably hard to tell virtually, but this will be the new entrance into the new concession stand. It used to be a wall there, so kind of cool to see this all coming together with all the drywall. Last week I think we talked about all the drywall that just went up. That's fairly new, and so those of you that have ever done drywall before know that there's a lot of mudding and sanding that goes involved with that. So it may not look a whole lot different since last week, but there's been a lot of work that's taken place in here. If you look around and see how many different corners and edges and coves there are throughout this space since they put the drywall up. There was a lot of mudding, a lot of sanding that's taken place to get this ready for some of the final plasterwork, some of the painting, some of the other finished surfaces.
We should have done this one on the stilts.
Yes.
Because this guy who was walking around, and you can see how smooth and just sharp these edges are, because it's going to look, again, when you guys walk in, when hopefully everything's back to normal and you can come and see this in person, it hopefully will look like this is how the Egyptian theater has always been. Like, this is how it was built in 1929, this is how it would have been built had the stock market not crashed, and the precision in how they're getting these different parts of the artistry done is really quite amazing, especially watching that guy walk on stilts. You'd watch us break our ankle live on Facebook.
Yeah, not a job
not a job we could do.
So not a whole lot new out here, other than just a lot of that finished detail starting to go in, so we can start to move forward. Next week, the plaster company, the ornamental plaster company, is going to be here on site, starting to do work. So it's amazing that we're already at the point where we're starting to get some of those finished surfaces in. And we're going to be coming up on May 1st, which is a big anniversary. Those of you who've been following along, a year ago on May 1st, we broke ground. It was the groundbreaking ceremony, and was a pretty significant day.
It was. Yeah. It was. So 1 year ago on May 1st was 90 years to the day that they broke ground for the original construction of the Egyptian theater, which was really exciting because we found this out by going through old newspaper articles at the DeKalb Public Library. Found this out not too far in advance of the May 1st, maybe a month. So we rallied the troops and said, this is a monumental day. We have to do the groundbreaking on this day because it's so paramount to the inception of the Egyptian theater. So we were able to pull that off, have the groundbreaking on May 1st, and now we're standing inside the getting close to completed expansion.
Yeah, went from standing on the ground to 18 feet below ground in a hole, and now in a building. So pretty exciting to look at how much work has taken place in the last year, and we should really kind of highlight some of that over the coming days and some flashbacks to...
I feel like I'm getting a job assignment from the boss live on Facebook.
So stay tuned to social media because we're going to see some great stuff in the coming days.
To be scheduled.
Yes. But some of the things that have taken place here in the last week that is a noticeable change, we're going to head into the restrooms. Some pretty...
Women's first?
It doesn't matter.
Let's go this way.
Yeah.
First of all, lights come on when they're sensing people.
So we've brought you in the restrooms in the last couple of weeks, and we had some of the partitions in, but we didn't have the front pilasters, these front panels in yet, and they have started installing those. So if you look along the row here, really starting to come together. They came and measured for the doors. We'll be getting those yet this week. And this design here matches identical to the design upstairs of the original toilet partition. So these were designed, we've talked about that before, but really cool to see these details coming together. So not only the pilasters coming together, but some of the toilet accessories going in. Fun stuff like toilet paper dispensers.
Which you don't think that is that important, but notice it'll hold two very large rolls. So not only will we have more bathroom stalls, but we'll have more toilet paper to show.
So a lot of improvements here, all the little details between the toilet paper dispensers, the trash cans, the grab bars, the door hooks. I think we were all shocked to realize how many different little details there are in a bathroom.
Yes.
I think we all knew we thought we knew going into this, like, oh, it's a bathroom, there's not that many components.
Sinks, toilets.
Yeah, there are a lot of details to figure out. Everything from the brackets to the boots on the bottom of the pilasters to...
Are they technically called boots?
Boots or skirt. I'm sure there's some more other technical terms. Yeah. So these are coming together. Really cool. Irving Construction is doing an amazing job with the installation of this. This is all custom built work here. So this side,
built right here in DeKalb.
Yeah. So all of these custom partitions were built just a couple blocks away at Premium Wood Products, and then brought here and are being put together by some really skilled craftsmen that are putting this together. These are not, out of the box,
right? Custom.
IKEA put together with instructions.
And you can always like 2 pieces left over, and you're like, there. Well, what's really fun too is you see the top part. This is quite long. They walked it down because they're literally just down Locust Street. And I was here and I was like, what are they bringing these long pieces of wood for? And they're like, oh, those are going to go on top of the pilasters. So nice to have something so local that you don't have to bring a huge truck in. Just
3 guys were able to walk down the street. So we've got this, and it's starting to look a little easier to understand. We've talked about before that these new restrooms are going to have new ADA stalls. And so now with the toilet partitions going together, you can see a little bit better what this looks like. So we'll have new ADA stall here. Not only will this be an ADA compliant stall, but on the wall there will be a baby changing station. So getting ready for all of those toilet accessories to go in. And same thing on this side, you can see the progress. They've got about half of the pilasters in, the vertical face pieces, and then the rest of it, they'll keep going this week.
And for when we have these huge events, obviously the Christiansen, Skyline Furies, Gaelic Stormfur, they're huge. We have to have all the bathrooms open. But say we have a Tuesday night movie where there's 50 to 100 people. We are able to shut off half the bathroom, so that way it keeps the maintenance side, the stress on our building and ground supervisor at a minimum. So that way it's going to be double the size of what we currently have, still have 6 stalls available, but we don't need to necessarily have the whole thing open if we need to make it spill clean, if we have a smaller event, or say something happens during a big event where there's something that needs to happen, we're able to close off on both sides of this lotus wall, which is a very intentional choice.
Yeah, so it gives us the flexibility for small events, large events, to, accommodate.
Make it as big as small as
possible.
possible.
So really cool to see this coming together. We'll head across to the men's restroom where they also installed pilasters this week.
Yep. Walking sounds. Oh yeah.
So some more the accessories starting to get installed.
So while we do have our lovely new, we have paper towels. Because sometimes you need a paper towel, you just need to come in and like, I need blue nose, I don't want to go into a stall, I just need to grab a paper towel. So we still have paper towel dispensers, and this is actually fitting nice and a little bit snugger than we thought, which is nice, because we wanted this, again, the bathrooms feel open, airy, bigger than obviously they were, and this snugging right into the wall is making that possible.
So we've got those options, the hand dryers as well as paper towels. When you come back in here, again, these front vertical pilasters have gotten installed and have turned out really well. So in here we've got 4 stalls. The last one down there is the ADA stall in the men's restroom. This will also have a baby changing station. So you can see it's here ready to go. It'll get mounted up on the wall along with all the other accessories that are sitting in here. So do we have any questions that have popped up yet?
General comments, concerns? People think my joke is hilarious?
There's been a lot of hellos. One request to see the carpet, which is upstairs in the office.
We can show the office lights.
Hello, Sue. I am behind the camera.
Aw, Sue.
Just a lot of hellos.
Well, hello to everybody. So if you do have any questions, go ahead and write them below. But let's go ahead and head upstairs.
Yeah.
So again, a big thank you to everybody for joining us tonight, and thanks for everybody saying hi in the comments below.
And obviously this is a lovely floor that we won't be putting any more stress on with our shipments. Right now it's a little dusty, but we will shine that puppy right up once construction's done.
Yeah. So let's head upstairs to the second floor here in the mezzanine. I think we had talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago. The chandelier got a relamping.
Right.
Yes, so we'll see if you can tell on the camera here or not. So we took all the glass out because we wanted to take that down. We usually, about once a year, we'll take that down and clean all of it, especially with all the construction going on. Things have been really dusty. So not only did we want to take that down to clean the glass, but we've been planning for a long time to take out all the incandescent bulbs that were in there and replace it with new LED bulbs to be a lot more energy efficient. We've been talking a lot about how the LED fixtures will help us reduce the heat load in the building.
Yeah.
So with the new air conditioning that's coming online, as you can see, the chandelier, you might not notice when the glass is in, but with the glass out, there's actually 31 or 33 light bulbs in there.
An odd number.
Yes. So there is a
34, is that it? Oh, that makes me feel a lot better, actually. I don't know why I need a number.
Hate to break it to you, but I think there's 33.
Oh, ooh, that.
Regardless, there's a lot.
Anyway.
Regardless, there's a
There's
lot of
over
light
30
bulbs.
light bulbs.
Yes, just in the chandelier. So excited at the end of this to be able to put clean glass back in and put it back together.
And I don't know if any of you seen, we have posted pictures and videos of how you change the light bulbs in here, and it is it's precarious. It's a bit of a experience. So we have a ladder, an A-frame with an extension in the middle that's on wheels to change it. I won't do it. I take pictures. But this will not only have a brighter and less heat coming into the building, but it will just take the, again, maintenance for us to do is going to be greatly diminished.
We won't have to get up there and change light bulbs all the time.
Every summer before Corn Fest.
Yeah, we've been really lucky with this construction project. There's been a lift here in the lobby, so it made it a lot easier than normal.
Thank you, Irving Construction.
Yeah.
Questions?
So we do have some questions. To Anna, not sure which tile you're talking about. She wants to know which if the tile was custom. The lobby is not custom. That's from 1929. But the bathroom tile, if you guys want to talk about the bathroom tile.
Yeah, so we looked at a lot of tile. We have an amazing interior designer, Dina Murphy, who with Elevated Edge Interiors took us to the Merch Mart in Chicago because we had some ideas, and she's like, you know, I hear you guys, you clearly have a vision. We didn't know what the vision was, but we had an idea, and so she took us to the Merch Mart, and we probably looked at 500 different types of tile that day.
Entire day. A lot of tile.
And we saw, especially in the women's, the lotus flower it spoke to us. It was like, it's clean, it's still modern with the coloring, with the whites and the grays, but has that lotus motif, so we were sold on that. And the men's was actually very instrumental with Brandon, with the triangular pieces and flipping them, boop, 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 boop. So you have this pyramid-esque motif. Again, it's hard to find Egyptian.
Very Art Deco.
Yeah, Egyptian Art Nouveau was very hard to find nowadays, but we were able to find pieces that spoke to that without going custom, because custom would be awesome,
Right.
but expensive. So we were able to find stuff that was actually existing on the marketplace that still spoke to the other architecture of the building without having to pay custom prices.
But it was not an easy find.
It was not. It was a very fun day. We got
Yes.
to see a lot of different things, but yeah, it was very much a needle in a haystack hunt to find what we wanted to find.
Yeah.
You said there's other questions, or
There are. We have a question from Mitch. What's the completion date? Guesstimate
I asked that
your
question
best
too,
your best
Mitch.
guesstimate.
Best guess right now, we're hoping for substantial completion by about June 1st. As I
That's
said,
easy.
just next week they're going to be starting the plaster work. They're anticipating that'll take about 4 weeks in total between both floors. And as they start doing work, we'll be able to come behind that and start painting stuff out. At the same time, there's still so many finish pieces that are happening with light fixtures, plumbing fixtures, the concession stands starting to go together, food service equipment starting to show up. So even though we keep talking about kind of substantial completion by the beginning of June, there's still going to be a lot of little small pieces happening for the next couple of months. And the biggest thing, we're going to talk about carpet.
No, I wasn't. I actually had a
like
question.
Segue just off to you.
Well,
so.
the carpet. Yes, let's go to the carpet. Say the carpet. If we pan down.
Why?
Wah wah wah. This is from 1983. It's fine. It served its purpose. However, we are going to be putting in brand new, custom designed carpet that will last us 30 years at least.
Potentially up to 50 years.
So it is custom designed, again, working with the lovely Dina Murphy, picking colors, picking different architectural parts of this building to incorporate into the carpet. We did do a custom design, so there's stuff from the scarab beetle to the lotus flower to the cobras to the sunbursts, all in our custom colors that we'll be going throughout. And then we do have a secondary carpet that will be going on the stairs as well as some of the aisles, just to keep it not so busy, because we do have a lovely auditorium with really great architectural pieces, from the murals to all the other plaster work that's ornamental. We wanted to keep it simplistic, so people aren't walking going like, I'm trying to find my seat, but there's a lot going on. So we will have a pattern that's more black in coloring, again, still with the scarab beetle. So that is what we're fundraising for Gift to Cub County. We'll plug that again at the end.
Yeah.
But no, I did have a question about the plaster work. So is that going to be the painting of this, or is that like the plaster is like...
So the plaster work is the actual texture and stuff. So if you look at this opening here as an example that we opened up. This used to be a wall here. This is a new addition here. So this got opened up. So this blue board kind of drywall that got put on the framing, they will actually plaster to that. So there'll be a base coat that goes on. And then if you notice, most of the lobby spaces here have this textured plaster. Mm-hmm. So they'll put a base coat on to cover all of the seams and everything, get it smooth. And then they'll come through and they'll put this texture on top of that. And then once the texture is done and dried and cured, they'll come through and they'll base coat it with a color. So if you look up above here, so this was demoed and really in bad shape to put these vents in, but the plaster's been repaired. It's been base coated, so if you look, it's just kind of a solid color. You can really tell the difference if you look over here between this wall and that wall.
Yeah.
This wall is, believe it or not, the same base coat as this. There's then a glaze that artisans put over top of this, and they have to really play with the mixture of how much glaze they put on, how much they wipe off, how long they let it dry, and then it gives that kind of multi-faceted, multi-textured look. So there's a lot of different steps to this to match this. This texture is a custom artist putting this in, so they really have to play around with not only how much plaster they put on, how much they kind of goop it in place. I'm sure there's technical terms.
Goop is the right term.
How much it comes out from the wall, how much they flatten it.
So are the guys who do the glazing and match the coloring, are they also from like Conrad Schmidt, or is it some other?
So the plaster work is going to be done by Chicago Ornamental Plaster Work. It's the Luzak brothers that actually did the plaster work here in 1983 and have done some different work for us throughout the years. So they will come in and do all the plaster work, and then behind that will be artisans that will come in and do all of this paint work. Not only do we have to make sure, you know, the paints match, but like I said, that glazing work is really a custom, you know, there's not a lot of people that know how to do that and to do it well, to match in with everything else that's throughout the space here. So
very good.
So let's have
We do have one more. It's from Roxanne. What's the next part of the project that we are most looking forward to?
The concession stand.
Yeah, I'd say concession stand.
That's
You know,
how-
the bathrooms have really come together. There's a lot of finishing touches there. But the next things that haven't really started at all are the concession stands. Both seeing the walls and the countertops come in, but also the kind of back wall tile is not anywhere else in this project. You haven't seen it yet. It's a really cool piece.
It's like modern meets Art Deco
Yeah.
because it's mirrored, but it's kind of an antique-y looking mirror. And then the front part of the concession is going to have this lovely metal work that you see along the railing here. So it's going to be kind of this old meets new because we're going to be having very modern amenities with the TV screens. That will be our menu, so which obviously is very ease of use for us to be able to change things out like that with a digital read, but it will still have that, again, Egyptian revival feel with the ironwork and still having, while it's going to be very reflective and mirrored tile, it has this antique vibe to it. Again, we saw it at the Birch Bark and we were like, love, thank you Dina for being our like Sherpa through this guide of tile.
Tile whisperer.
Tile whisperer. I think, dang it, we should.
You should get a t-shirt.
Tile whisperer. But no, it's another, like Alex said, it's not anywhere else that you've seen it. I haven't seen it like in the flesh, so it's gonna be, that's what we're most excited about. Did we talk too long on that, Roxanne? But we're really excited.
It's probably concessions, then starting to see all the plaster work come together, and then the carpet. So we've got, you know, some big exciting stuff coming up. So the expanded foyer here as well. It's hard to tell. There's not a whole lot that looks different, but they've got finished the cove up here, and then a lot of the mudding work to prep that for the plaster work to come through and some of the final painting. So it's hard some of these times. It's like there's a ton of work that has gone into it. It just doesn't look a whole lot different. But we are now ready for those finishing touches to really move forward.
And for some of you, so I have been the same of like, I know that there's sprinkler heads in the auditorium, but you cannot see them. You cannot see them. It's amazing. So this little guy is a sprinkler head, and we custom color the paint. So when people say, I don't see any in the Egyptian theater, they clearly aren't sprinkled. We did that on purpose. We don't want y'all to see it because we want it to be, again, like it was in 1929. But we obviously want the safety measures that are here in 2020. So you see this unpainted, but once you come in person, whenever that may be, you hopefully will see it blend right into the rest of the paint, and it will only be needed if hopefully never.
Yes, hopefully never.
Hopefully never.
So this space, we talked about when we started the tour tonight, but again, the temporary construction plywood wall there, that will be getting the final window in place very soon. That's probably, back to Roxanne's question, that's probably one of the things I'm most excited about is to get the storefront in. The window is really going to finish off that east facade. And this room has been kind of closed off for so long, and we've known, you know, when this plywood is down, occasionally during the day, we get a glimpse as to what it's going to look like from the second floor here. And of course, we were up here before there was even a roof on the building, staying up here on the second floor going, well, this is exciting, this is what it's going to look like, but it's going to be fun when that window actually goes in.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there's really anything else in this room.
We got the door frames.
Yeah, the wood door frames have started going in. So these are all custom built as well to match the wood. This is the exact same wood stain as you're seeing in the restrooms, as well as the baseboard out throughout here. These are custom doors that are made to match some of the other existing stuff.
It's going to match the foyer doors. So we've been matching the bathroom doors to the existing bathroom doors with that kind of pyramid-y shape. These will have the 3 panes of glass. Hard to see, they're usually open during shows, but when you walk in through the front doors and then you walk in through the other set of doors, those had that same type of 1, 2, 3 pieces of glass paneling. So we actually modeled these doors off of those doors, again, to give more light into this room, so you can see into this room. So if these doors are closed, you can still see in. It doesn't have just that little piece, but yeah, modeled after existing doors in the theater.
Yeah. So let's head to, or yeah.
So, to answer, Sue had a question. We have 2 new popcorn machines. We do.
We
Yeah.
do!
So the one downstairs.
It's going to live up staying on the farm.
Yeah. Well, we only had one in the building before, and we believe it was from 1983. And as amazing as the popcorn is, mechanically, has been.
You have to use a wrench sometimes.
We were hopeful that we could reuse it, but these last couple months.
So the original plan was to move that one from the first floor up here, buy a new machine for the first floor, and then reuse that other one up here. But because of you guys, volunteers, donors, and supporters, last year on Give to DeKalb County Day, we were raising funds to be able to buy a new popcorn machine for the first floor, and you guys were so generous that we not only met our goal, but exceeded it, and allowed us to buy a new, bigger machine for the first floor, but we also were able to buy a new machine for the second floor that is also bigger than the original one we had. So we are going to have a lot of capacity to be able to make popcorn, one of our things I think we're most well known for. And both first floor and second floor, basically state-of-the-art popcorn machines that are going to allow us to do that. So very excited and could not be more appreciative of your guys' support last year on Give to DeKalb County Day. And that's why we're looking forward to this year, coming up on Thursday, May 7th, which we're raising funds for the new carpet this year.
You better believe we're popping on over to the bathrooms up here now.
I'm gonna slap that out of your hand. I love it. Fantastic.
Sue, so the pyramid shape Janine referred to, we'll show you right here. So it's the old design, it's the glass design from the existing women's restroom downstairs. Fun fact for the restrooms downstairs and up here, they'll eventually pull this glass.
Downstairs, they've already pulled the glass out, and that's already gone into the new doors.
So you can see that nice textured colored glass.
So we're reusing the glass from the original doors. We also were able to harvest some of the wood trim pieces off of the original doors. This is old door. This is not one of the newer ones.
But Alex, are we going to have this lovely ladies?
No, we will have much nicer signage.
Wah, wah, wah.
So even though we have new doors going in, we've been able to harvest some of the original components, the hardware, the glass, some of the wood trim pieces. So really cool. And I know we've shown it before, but since we're standing right here, let's go into
do it. The existing original.
You're gonna see where we got our inspiration from.
So guys,
so take a look at the toilet partitions here.
Hard to tell, but, and come see. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Pilasters?
Pilasters.
Pilasters. Look at the cute, cute, cute. And these don't even have boots.
No, so these are right on the floor. The reason we did that downstairs is we were able to get the pilasters are off the floor about an inch or two to help us level them. But also as we're washing the floor and stuff, when you get water and stuff, it's not going to rot out the wood on the floor there.
And probably something you guys maybe not have noticed, maybe something I've talked about, but like these toilets are attached to the floor, so mopping and cleaning them, kind of a pain. So we were able to do wall-mounted toilets. So when we mop, nice and clean. So you can see this is obviously an older style of a toilet. So we do have ones that are wall attached now. So again, you'll just be able to keep our bathrooms cleaner, be able to clean them with more ease. Mike, our building ground supervisor, will be much, much more appeased with the ability to clean our bathrooms.
So these are the inspiration. We actually copied these, this exact profile. It was measured, all the angles and everything. So really cool. You know, part of our mission as a nonprofit is to protect the historical integrity of this building.
Yeah.
And so even though we were putting in brand new bathrooms, it was important for us to try and pull in as many of those historical elements as we could. And I could not be more thrilled with the result of these. So if you've ever been up here in the women's restroom, you've seen these, but a lot of people have probably never seen these.
No, it's very true.
Wood toilet partitions before. So.
There's only 2 of them. But
Yes.
yeah, and the 1x1 tile, right now it's covered downstairs with the cardboard, but we did incorporate elements of smaller tile work as a more design feature, more design aspect in the rest of the field tile on the floor. Again, to pay homage to this room, because luckily we still have this room intact and are able to draw inspiration from this existing bathroom.
Any other questions?
We do not.
So our last stop here, we'll trigger the automatic lights on. So not a whole lot looks different up here. They are prepping to put in the toilet partitions. So they're going to be finishing those up downstairs this week and then coming right back up here. So you can see all of these marks on the wall. They've started to measure out where all of those supports are going to go. They've also finished installing all of the lighting in here, as well as some of the battery backup stuff in here. So what's nice about the LED fixtures, they use so much less power that we're able to use some of those fixtures on battery backup. Kind of the old style throughout the rest of the theater is we have emergency lighting all throughout the theater on individual battery backup, which means once a month we go through and test every single one of those to make sure they work. The batteries have to be replaced a lot, some of the circuit boards go bad. It's just a lot of batteries, it's a lot of expense, it's bad for the environment. And so we're excited with the expansion and LED lighting, we're able to centralize all of that. So there will be basically one battery backup cabinet for the second floor, one battery backup for the first floor, and that will allow us to have even more lighting if the power ever goes out much better. So, and we've actually had a couple of situations where we've had events where the power has gone out, and so we know that happens, and we want to make sure that things are safe. And this is going to be a huge improvement. Safer for the environment, more economical for us, not having to replace a ton of batteries. So.
Agreed. Good job, Tom.
And to show what the comparison from the other restroom to this restroom for the wall-mounted versus floor-mounted.
Oh, yeah.
See how easily you can get a mop under one of these toilets versus the floor-mounted. You are potentially catching the mop on certain things.
Yes.
All those little details.
Those little details.
Mirrors, they just brought up, so those are going to get installed this next week as well, as they start working on the toilet partitions. And then really the only other thing in here is, again, some of the lighting that's been finished, and it's starting to tie in some of the emergency lights to the new battery backup system. So not much else has changed up here, but they'll be moving on to the wood toilet partitions up here as well. The urinal screens have been installed a couple of weeks ago, which you guys saw. So we've got 3 new toilets up here that will get those wood toilet partitions installed soon. You can see they've got some of the painter's tape up there with their measurements marked out so they know where to put the supports when they come in and start installing those. So.
Any questions? Are you with this?
And then one last thing, if you want to talk about, if you want to speak about the speakers.
Speak of the speakers, that's a really good point.
Yes.
So, say right now, let's go back to within the before times, before March 17th. If you were here for a show, like Chris Jansen, and you had to go to the restroom, you would miss out on whatever was going on stage. Now, we'll be able to have a live feed, not only of the show that's going on, so say you're watching a movie or a live show and you have to go to the restroom, you'll be able to hear. Let's say you're during intermission and we flash the lights, so you have a couple minutes to get back to your seat. If you're in the bathroom, you miss that. Now we'll be able to do chimes through here. If, say, the fire alarm is activated, you'll be able to hear the calls through here. If we have to make an announcement over the speakers, it'll all run through here. So no matter what building you're in, room you're in within the building, including the restrooms, you'll be able to hear what's going on either on stage or anything that needs to be communicated to you guys, even if you're in the restroom.
Yeah, and it'll be great for concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think of things like, you know, Brian Greene and Louis Black, those comedy shows. They're here. Nobody wants to leave to go grab another drink or run to the bathroom because you don't want to miss a punchline or miss the story leading up to a punchline. But now you can feel safe running to the restroom, running to grab another drink because you're going to be able to follow along the entire time, making sure you never miss a moment.
That's true.
Yeah. Any other questions in the bathroom?
No.
Cool.
All right.
Mitch did say, wow, I'm hoping he's just appreciative of our jokes.
We'll go with that. Mitch thinks we're funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that, Mitch.
I'm going to play an audible real quick and come up to the projection booth.
Jeebus.
Well, all the
I was like, what are we going to talk about up here? I'm excited.
So some little details that you'll hopefully never really notice throughout the building. As part of the HVAC system, the heating, ventilation, air conditioning, we have additional sensors that have been put throughout the building that monitor both temperature, humidity, as well as CO2. So that's going to come back to a centralized system that allows us to monitor. So we've got one up here in the balcony, there's one on the main floor in the lobby areas, and that will allow us to make sure things stay comfortable. You cannot adjust it from here.
Well, I'm wondering how it senses.
It's just a sensor, it's
Okay.
magic. So those will be throughout the building, making sure things are really comfortable.
The best room in the house.
So then up here, I'll shine some light on so you can see. So this new rack is in the process of being installed. And you can see through the floor there some conduit with a ton of wiring and cabling coming up. We have, I should probably measure it at some point, but probably well over a mile worth of cabling that's being installed. This equipment rack here is going to get installed with all of the new equipment that's going to power the TVs, speakers, all of those control things throughout the building. So we're up here in the projection booth. We've got our old carbon arc projectors up here, the new digital projector, and so it was a spot that we had in the building to be able to put this in, and they're going to continue installing all of that equipment. So really cool. What's nice about these old buildings is there's actually cavities and crevices and stuff that we can get wiring up through.
Yeah.
So a new building doesn't really have all of those open voids.
Yeah.
So we're fortunate.
The engineering codes of 1929 were a little looser.
Yes, so we're fortunate this building from 1929 has allowed us to really get all of this new state-of-the-art wiring and infrastructure through it, and to be able to have all of these modern technology and amenities.
Yes. Any other?
No questions, but I'm scared the phone's gonna die.
So
All right.
let's go. So we have talked about all the exciting stuff that's coming your way, including carpeting. So we
Yes.
are fundraising $20,000 on Thursday, May 7th for Give to Cub County. You guys have been super supportive. Last year we blew past our goal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's why we have 2 popcorn machines and a butter warmer. You better believe it. So we are fundraising for the installation and purchase of a brand new custom designed carpet. And it isn't any carpet, guys. This carpet is going to last, hopefully, like Alex said, for the next 50 years. It is designed to take the wear, the tear, the spills, the cleaning that 40,000 patrons a year bring to the Egyptian Theater. We are so excited. This is going to be the facelift, guys. That is truly the cherry on top of this expansion project. And if you want to donate, it is 24 hours of giving, so starting midnight, May 7th, till 11:59 that night. You can give online at lightscameradonate.org. Or if you're not an online donor and you want to mail in your check, you can just go to givetocubcounty.org. They have a whole explanation of ways to give. So if you want to mail in a check, that is open now. You can mail in now through May 7th to get your check counted towards Give to Cub County, which we're really excited about.
Because every dollar that comes in on May 7th through that website will be proportionally matched by a bonus pool that's currently well over $100,000, which is amazing. There's over 100 nonprofits in DeKalb County participating in this event, and we are honored to be one of those. And it's an amazing day. So you're going to want to join us on Thursday, May 7th for Give to DeKalb County Day 24-hour giving event. Not only are we going to be raising funds that day, but we're going to be going live just like this on Facebook every hour, starting at the top of the hour at 8 a.m. through 9 p.m. Different guests this year virtually through Zoom. So hopefully all the technology holds up and we can pull this off this year. All these different interviews all day long, every single hour. I'm sure it'll go just fine.
I'm sure our guests won't be so distant that you don't see them.
Yes.
We'll be fine. In spirit.
And we've got a wide variety of guests that are going to be joining us, so you're going to want to make sure you join us for that, as well as a special announcement at the end of that day that we're going to share with you. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Join us again next week, Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. here, live on Facebook, to see the progress that's been made in just a week with this project.
We'll see you Thursday, May 7th. Bye, guys.
Bye.